Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday.
Walnut, it is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I hope you're having a really nice week and going through the things. If you are new here, my name is Laz. My name is Lara, but you can call me Laz. I am your host of this podcast. I am also an author, a healer, a space holder for my group on Facebook, The Walnut Tree, and a whole bunch of other things. I'm the candlestick maker of Walnut Wednesday. So hello, pleased to meet you. And if you are a regular walnut, hello, beautiful, delicious, wonderful banana. How are you? And let me know how you're going. My walnutting this week, I am tutuing and pussyfooting around because it's a little bit of a vulnerable one, and it's a place that I have not visited for a wee while now. Beyond scaresighting and more of a kind of crossroads asking for helpy type of situation where I've kind of had to be a little bit brave in that kind of aspect and hold a mirror up to myself in some ways. So I've been in a little bit of like this overall waking up to the sense of patriarchy and why things are the way they are, and this kind of overall feeling which kind of stemmed a little bit from my Weltschmerz as this feeling of it's not fair that I have to behave this way because some old white man said 50 million years ago that this was the way things were, and just how that's kind of like continued to move on and come through society and through the ages, right? Like it's still quite prominent and it's still quite there. And I know it is becoming like this little woke kind of theme to be all femininical and all the things. But for me, it's kind of a bit more of a broader, bigger bird's eye perspective. I'm just going to, it's really windy at my house, Walnut, so I'm just going to move my microphone a little bit closer in case you can hear that wind. And so, yeah, I've been in this space of feeling like it's not fair and noticing all these parts of, if you've been following along with the podcast as well, where it's been like, I've done this because I'm a woman, and did they do this because they're a man, and all of these kind of like, where it's that dominance and not dominance, and I've been kind of like put into not put into a position, but stuff's been coming up for me on a bit of a deeper level that it doesn't just involve me, so I can't quite give you all the goss on that, but where things have been coming up again from a level of it's not fair, and I've kind of built a little bit of resentment, not just regarding men or the specific thing that's kind of come up, but a resentment of why should I be the one? Why do I have to be the one to do that? And coming from a little bit of a disempowered kind of like, yeah, the it's not fair thing. It just keeps coming to it's not fair. Why should it be me? Why do I have to do this? Where the ignorance is bliss thing, it's like, oh, well, it really bloody is, because once you notice, it's just like, well, I can't unsee this now. I can't unsee this. I can't unfeel this. And I think a lot of that is remnants from this Weltschmerz saga that I don't think is going away. It's kind of just, this reopening of my eyes in some kind of ways. And there is, I've alluded to it in a few other podcasts and a couple live videos where it's like, it's on a bit of a woo level that's very like esoteric, and I need to talk to you about it, but it's all kind of linking together, right? And so I saw this video on resentment that kind of shook me up a little bit, because I've been coming from this really like, not necessarily negative space, but from a space of like, like really, you'd call it low vibe, whatever, but just from a darker kind of space. And this kind of opened my eyes, because it was talking about how resentment actually reflects envy. Like you resent someone who always comes to work late when you come early. You're actually envious because you would love to come to work late and not be early, right? So resentment in the way that they go on holiday all the time and you're the one working the public holidays or something, and it's actually envy because you want to be using your leave or brave enough to ask for it or whatever. So it just gave me this. Those are two really poor examples, Walnut, but it's because I didn't rewatch the video before I came to talk to you about it. But I hope that kind of makes sense. So where resentment actually reflects envy. And that kind of woke my eyes up to, oh my God, I've been looking at this the whole kind of wrong way. How can I kind of trick myself into thinking about it from that point of view, where like, oh, well, I wish I could, I'm envious because I wish I could be showing up late. Well, why am I so tired? Or looking at it from a different lens. And that's kind of bringing up this feeling of like a forgiveness that I need to kind of give. And I have mentioned this in previous episodes at the beginning of this year, 2022, if you're listening to it in real time. But it's also a forgiveness of things that are bigger than me. It's like a forgiveness of like patriarchy. It's like a forgiveness of like just so much bigger stuff and letting things go. And I think that's the really hard part, because not only in real life do I hoard things and put sentimental value into so many other things, let me know if you do this, but it's hard to forgive when you feel this kind of like resentment reflected by envy, or this feeling of it's not fair, or this feeling of ignorance is bliss, and I wish I didn't know this. I wouldn't. And then on top of that, you've got the layers of behaviors, you've got the layers of boundaries that you never had up, you've got the layers of things that you're just trying to slowly change, or that I have been slowly trying to change, in the personal developer world, where putting up boundaries and saying no and all that kind of stuff and doing all this work, but I still get slapped in the face with big butthole things that rip me open essentially. So anyway, I'm stuck in this kind of place of I don't really know how to unpick all these layers to forgive something that, one, I don't really have an apology for, and two, I don't have an apology for it because it's so much beyond like this human lifetime. It's not a male in this day and age of 2022. It's not a male's fault that women have been oppressed for so long, that I feel like I don't have a voice because of all of these things that have happened through the ages, where a woman couldn't speak, was so controlled and like victimy and stuff. And it's just got all these layers and connotations to it that are coming out in little situations that I've been put in, little life. They're not little, hard and tough life situations with addictions and hard things that are not my own, but I am carrying, resenting, envying. And it's not fair. And so something that I'm trying to come back full circle, but I can't even remember what I've already said. But my walnutting this week that I really wanted to share with you is, this week I have done something quite brave, and I didn't think I would have to come back to this, but I have decided that I want to, and I have decided that it will help me. And this is purely because I cannot see, you're like, get to it, Liz, what have you done? And that is because I cannot see outside of how I am seeing it. I cannot take another spin and look at it from a different angle because of all the layers, of all the feelings, of all the memories, of all the things. And that is that I have decided and contacted my counsellor from years ago. If you read Walnut Wednesday, the book, I talk about her a little bit in there as well. And she helped me through the act of it itself, helped me through having someone that listened to my voice, having, my side heard. I feel quite voiceless in a place which is, quite ironic. I have the podcast, I've got you Walnut, I've got the walnut tree where I can freely speak, but I feel really voiceless. And I think just having someone that is equipped with the tools to help me kind of just spin something around and shed a few more layers into this, I feel like I'm at my cap of what I can do in terms of emotional intelligence and behavior changing. So this is a step in that kind of direction for me. And funnily enough, this month in my my year ahead reading, the tarot card is the High Priestess, which is like the mystery and things like that. But she actually, I remember my dad did a card reading for me once, and she was kind of a female archetype card that was really prominent in my life at that time. And it just kind of is linking as well to a book that I'm reading called The Priestess Codes by Amy, who's been on this podcast. And I'm interviewing the second author, Amron, as well soon. So you'll hear from her. But it's just the timeliness of all of this stuff coming up. So in that book I'm reading, it does talk a little bit about this forgiveness aspect, about patriarchy things. And then, I have this card, and then now I've invited or recontact her to invite my counselor back into my life, who represented this card at this time. And it's also divinely linear, but not. So yeah, my walnutting this week is I have asked for help. I have asked for help, and for someone that is the helper, I think it will be really good for me to receive advice, receive tools, receive just to pull the bloody shades up a little bit and just let me see something in a different light. Sometimes because I'm so down in the weeds, and because I have had all the experiences and all the things, I don't really have a bird's eye view of the situation because of how almost pulled down I am inside the resentment and the lack of forgiveness, and that feeling of it's not fair. Anyway, I've waffled a lot about the things, but I hope this kind of resonates a little bit, Walnut, and I hope my walnutting perhaps encourages you to hold a mirror up to yourself and have a look. And do you need to be asking for what you need? Is there something that you need? Are you feeling bitter, frustrated, angry at something in particular, or just something that's a lot bigger than you? And where can you invite something back, or invite something, not necessarily back, but invite something into your life that's gonna help you essentially. So that's my walnutting. I am going officially back to counselling. I don't think it will be like a regular thing, but maybe monthly or bi-monthly, I'm not sure, but I'll keep you posted. And I wanted to share that I've done this with you. So thanks for being here and for holding the space for me, Walnut. And I will talk to you next Walnut Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week, and I hope you do find something to walnut about, because being a walnut is a wonderful thing. So on that note, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being so beautiful and wonderful and a delicious, sexy, I say beautiful walnut. Bye.